So as many of you know, I've been traveling. I'm giving a stock market update for June 2nd, 2025. I go by the name of PE Ratio, aka Stock Constellations. And I'm just going to give a market update. This is going to my Facebook group. Excuse me. If y'all want to join, just ask to join. But I was trying to go live on Facebook, but YouTube is just a better product. So let me begin. Just giving a stock market update, see what's going on in the market. That's it. That's all. So let me see if I can share my screen. This is a little weird. Okay, there you go. Okay, share screen. Um, I think it's this one. Okay, right there. So let me come back to me. Make sure we all can see each other. That's my name there, but call me AKA. Call me what you want. So on Monday, June 2nd, 2025. U.S. stock markets closed higher, overcoming early losses triggered by renewed trade tensions between the U.S. and China. Investors were initially rattled by President Trump's announcement to double tariffs on steel and aluminum imports to 50%. Let me just break this down. Let me just stop. You don't want to just ride by stuff. Anyway, it says investors were initially rattled. When you say initially rattled, rattled because President Trump's announcements about doubling tariffs on steel. So when President Trump made that announcement, all the people that's in these investors, that's in these companies, that's in the steel sector, and I'll break just bear with me. Sector is there's industries. Sector is just like a just a broad um it's hard to explain. Sector is just the steel sector. All the companies that's in this range of this area, this certain area. Okay, so President Trump's announcements to double tariffs scared the people that's on the steel companies, and right after this, they're going to tell you what kind of companies were in the steel industry sector. President Trump's announcements to double tariffs on steel. Let me just back that up. Investors were initially rattled by President Trump's announcement to double tariffs on steel and aluminum imports to 50%, prompting retaliatory measures from Beijing. However, optimism regarding potential trade agreements, just trade agreement, it's potential. It says potential trade agreements. Now, when I teach, first of all, I teach. I'm not these people out here that tell you to time the market. To I promise you this is going to happen. I'm the more realistic stock market guy. So I may not be for everybody, but this is how I save people from making big mistakes in the stock market. I'm teaching the foundation, the rudimentary, like your house. Your house will crumble if it doesn't have a strong foundation. All the other stuff is just for show. Everything else, but if you don't have a strong foundation, let's just say water seeped all in your house, all underground under your house, um, your house gonna crumble. So all that fancy, all that money you spent there getting new roof and um, shutters and all that type of stuff, just all this nice paint, all that expensive um, stuff you did in the house, renovating the bathroom, renovating the kitchen, yeah, just down the drain. That's how I want you to think of this when you're studying the stock market, the foundation. what are you looking at? PE ratios. How do you analyze companies? Anyway, let's keep going. I have videos about that. Y'all can just go back and look at those. And if you want me to uh, talk more on P ratios and other stuff, just put it in the comment section. Okay, so however, optimism regarding potential trade agreements and a rally in major technology stocks helped markets rebound by the close. So the technology sector, they just talking about you can look at the QQQ that follow the QQQ index. That's actually a ticker symbol. Ticker symbol is just abbreviation of the company. QQQ is a fund that is an index that tracks the technology sector, and it is a exchange traded fund. Um, it's a mutual fund that is traded on the stock market. Here you can find this is the source where you can find all that. Reuters, um, yeah, Barron's also. Barron's is a good guy. Plus WikiLeaks. So you can just go through all that. Let's see, major index performance. S&P 500 gained 24.25 points, plus 0.4% to close at 5,935.94. So again, the S&P 500 tracks the Fortune 500 companies, and this number right here represents the average of those 500 companies. Now, there's more than 500 companies in the S&P 500, but they're not worried about those. They worry about the 500, like Microsoft and Apple's in there. What else? Standard and Poor's. This is what it is. Standard and Poor's 500. There's, I think Caterpillar is in there, but some of these companies are in the S&P 500 and can be in the Dow Jones and can be in the Nasdaq. Let's continue. Any more y'all want me to ask? Just put in the comment section. I'm trying to go through this. Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 35.41 points, plus 0.1% to 42,305.48. The Dow Jones, also known as the Dow 30, tracks the 30 blue chip companies. Caterpillar is in there. I think Boeing is still in there. BA ticker symbol. Is Target in there? I think if they in there, they probably won't be in there for long. They getting hit. I think Costco is in here, or they might be in SP. I think it's in here though. Dow Jones. What else is in here? Berkshire Hathaway, companies like that. This is the blue chip. This is the Dow 30, also known as, tracks the 30 largest blue chip companies, and that's how you get that average. The Nasdaq Composite, it's the technology sector. Actually, it tracks it's the technology index, not sector index. Nasdaq Composite advanced 128.85 points today, plus 0.7% to 19,242.61. The Russell 2000, this tracks 2,000 small cap companies. It increased. I'm gonna go through this fast so we can, for the sake of time. I'm trying to keep my interviews, my broadcasts concise. Russell 2000 increased by 0.2% to 2,070.16. Here's Nasdaq.com. Y'all can always go to Nasdaq.com. That's good information. That's a good source on there. I like going over there. All major indexes experienced nearly 1% drop earlier in the day due to discouraging U.S. manufacturing data, but recovered as the session progressed, buoyed by strength in big tech stocks. So big tech stocks helped the market rally, the technology sector. Companies like Tesla is in the NASDAQ sector. Companies like Fiverr, what else? Some companies that what else is in there? It's just a lot of companies that I can't even think of right now for some reason. Tech, but you got it's the biggest technology company. It should be oh man, I can't think of it right now for some reason. We got a block. But there's ways to go. I can pull it up if I need me to pull it up. Sector highlights. So here we go. Steel stocks. Here they're giving you a list of the steel stocks. So all these, because President Trump's announcement due to double tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. He said you're going to hold out. Hold on, where is it at? Overcoming initially rattled by President Trump's announcement to double tariffs on steel and aluminum imports, 50%. 1 second, let me plug my laptop in. Sorry about that. Laptop is dead. Sorry about that. All right. Okay. So here's this steel stocks. Companies like Cleveland Cliffs, Steel Dynamics, and Nucor Steel, that's what it is, saw significant gains following the announcement of increased steel tariffs. The tech sector led the rebound, with major companies contributing to the Nasdaq's rise. Okay, let me go out here again so I can go down. Do this fast. Utilities and consumer staples. These sectors outperformed with the utilities select sector, SPDR, XLU. You can type in this in the this is a ticker symbol. You can type that in, and that tells you about consumer staples. I could go over this if y'all need me to. These are terminologies that you're gonna have to get familiar with by hearing it over and over and over again, like I did. Gaining the sectors outperformed with the utilities select sector SPDR, XLU gaining 1%, and the consumer staples select sector SPDR, XLP, consumer staples, rising 0.9%. Here's the source. Broader market context. Despite the day's gains, year-to-date performance remains mixed. APnews.com. S&P 500 up 0.9%. I already talked about this. Dow Jones down, the Dow 30 down 0.6%. NASDAQ down 0.4%. Russell 2000 down 7.2%. It's kind of big. I'll tell you what, I could talk about why Russell 2000. These are small caps. These are companies that haven't proven themselves yet. But these are the companies where you can make a lot of money because they're growth stocks. But we'll talk more on that later. Investors are closely monitoring ongoing trade negotiations and potential Federal Reserve policy changes, especially in light of speculation about interest rate cuts. Interest rate cuts is always a good thing. Whenever you hear interest rate cuts, stock market goes up. Amid lower inflation and economic pressures, and here's all that. So hope y'all do this. My name is PE Ratio, aka Stock Constellations, aka Rashad. That y'all see in the chat. I'm in my group there. Y'all have a blessed day. See you soon. Comment in the comment section, hit the like button, and share.